These are bad trades. And then there are trades so brutal, they don't just hurt a team, they erase the future. This is the NBA trade that cost a team everything. And the damage lasted for years. In 2013, the Brooklyn Nets had money, a new arena, and one goal: win a championship immediately. They didn't want patience, they didn't want development, they wanted a shortcut, and they paid the price. Brooklyn had just moved from New Jersey and wanted to become the real team in New York. The pressure was heavy, the expectations were loud, and when front offices get desperate, they do dangerous things. At the time, the Nets already had big names: Deron Williams, Joe Johnson, and Brook Lopez, but that wasn't enough. They wanted championship DNA. So they made the call that would change everything. The Nets called the Boston Celtics. Boston had two legends nearing the end of their career: Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. Brooklyn received Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Jason Terry. Boston received multiple first-round picks and pick swaps, basically Brooklyn's future. It was the kind of trade that screams one thing: we don't care about tomorrow, we want today. At first, the move didn't seem crazy. On paper, Brooklyn looked stacked. Fans were hyped. The media was hyped. People thought the Nets were about to shake up the entire league. But here was the real problem. They were paying full price for stars who entered the final chapter. Once the season started, the cracks showed fast. Garnett was older and slower. Pierre still had skill, but he wasn't the same athlete. The chemistry never clicked the way it needed to. The Nets were good, but not scary. They made the playoffs, but they didn't look like champions. And when the season ended, the super team dream was already fading. And this is where the trade becomes legendary for the wrong reason. Most teams can recover from one bad season because they still have draft picks. They still have young talent, they still have options. The Nets had none of that. They had traded away control of their future. So when the team got worse, Boston got stronger. Every loss didn't just hurt Brooklyn, it helped the Celtics. This trade wasn't deadly because it failed in year one. It was deadly because it destroyed flexibility. After the deal, Brooklyn had no cap space to rebuild fast, no draft picks to reload with young talent, no real trade assets to recover, and no patience left from fans or ownership. So the franchise went from chasing a title to being trapped in a slow, painful downfall. This trade became a league-wide warning, because the NBA doesn't punish you for being bad, it punishes you for being stuck. If you're bad but you have picks, you can rebuild. If you're bad but you have cap space, you can adjust. But if you're bad with no picks and no money, you're just trapped. That's why this wasn't just a trade. It cost Brooklyn years. So when people ask, what's the trade that cost a team everything? This one has to be on the list. The Nets tried to buy a championship, and they ended up purchasing a full rebuild. If you want more NBA stories the league doesn't want you to remember, subscribe to NBA After Dark, because the next one is even crazier.